to develop those kind of coloring kind of methods there from here. But what I want to show you guys right now, based on my sketches that I have, I can basically develop more ideas from here. Okay, for examples, let me say that this one, paste. This one basically supposed to be right in these kind of areas here. It's supposed to be right here. So I'm going to combine that first. Okay, these sketches that I have, okay, with some simple kind of shadings there. Okay, what I can do, I have to put in the middle there first. And so I'm going to save into the JPEG format. Just sketch the first sketch there, right? 001. Back over here. Take the files back again. It is basically my mood board there, right? So one of the mood board that I actually haven't used, I haven't created, or basically came from, okay, an illustration styles there. What I'm going to do right now, I'm going to collect some illustration style that I find quite interesting for me to collect, okay, for my visual research there. I don't know whether I'm going to use them or not, okay, but they're going to be a part of the inspirations there. I think you guys know the drill there, right? We'll get all these informations there first. Because I find all this kind of reference is very interesting there, okay, for me to come up with those ideas there later on. Okay. So get enough kind of informations before you're going to decide to use any kind of style that you find quite interesting for your works there, right? All these kind of illustrations, I get it from most of my influence kind of illustration styles there, right? From my illustration artists that I love to follow that before there, right? Some of the illustration style that I find quite interesting that I actually have made there before. For my own kind of personal kind of projects there, right? Like this simplified cartoon styles there, right? This one came from Dave McKean, one of the works. It doesn't have to be in a more common kind of styles on, but you guys can actually explore if you want to there, right? This one based on the image manipulations by Cliff Nielsen. So very interesting kind of body of work there. So this is basically going to be a big 4 there, right? Big 4. Mood board number 2 there, right? This is for illustration style, okay. So there's a lot of styles of illustration that I've been collecting, right? If you find there is some interesting kind of element that you guys can use later on, just go ahead, guys. Okay? This is some of the mood board, okay, some of it. The illustration style I might going to use for my coloring techniques later on there, okay, to work with it. So maybe I'm going to try to work on that, okay, and mix them up all together. So I have to rethink back again and try to develop that kind of process there, right? So if I have this kind of idea with me there, right, okay, from here, I will try to imitate some of those sketch drawing styles there because they look a bit more like a collage combined with some mixtures of drawing kind of line I get from here and then put some colors on it. So try to analyze from your, what we call that, from your observations on this kind of visual interpretations there. All right. Even though you find quite a bit interesting and intrigued at the same time, so okay, I know basically you have to be experimentative a little bit, right? So what I can do basically, I will show the method I always use to work on that. But one of those methods that I can share with you guys basically, all right, normally is a conventional kind of way to sketch those ideas there before we're going to refine them. Okay, before we're going to refine them. So from here, they basically, okay, what I can do there, right? So the clouds there, okay, the clouds becoming a wig for this clown kind of hair. I can refine them if I want to there, right? Okay, from here. I find not quite very appealing there, okay, for the presentation, the flying kind of what we call that elephants, all right? All this kind of thing, we can refine them back there, right? Okay? This one basically not supposed to be here. So what I can do, I will delete this first. This is a reference only there. I delete that one. Okay, this. Okay. So this is basically my compositions, okay, very direct compositions that I find uh, that I actually have developed for spontaneously, okay, in one sessions there. Okay, the last session that I did basically is a thumbnail sketch there. Okay, the first session. Okay, I did a thumbnail sketch like this one there. Right. Okay, I can sketch another area, another round, another 2 or 3 ideas there. Okay, before I'm going to decide to use which one basically for it works there. Okay. For example, if I'm going to use this one, okay, based on the reference that I have, okay, another ideas that I have in mind there. Okay, what I can do basically there, right? I will collect this information step first. Okay. And I'm going to, okay, I'm going to use A4 size, okay, for my sketches directly. Okay. So what I'm going to do right here, right? This is second sketch for group 2. So what I can do from here, oops, this is my sketch. Okay, thumbnail sketch, right? I'm going to refine the sketch in the small size there first. What I can do from here, the tiger is set, right? Maybe I'm going to design different kind of way there first, okay? Tiger become a clown there, right? So the head. This is basically a flying elephant there. Okay? Maybe the head can be opened up a little bit there, like that one. Maybe there is a rabbit inside there. This is basically some creativity's element that you try to adapt there, right? Whatever that you have in mind. Okay? That you have in mind, okay, during the process of developing those ideas. You just can use them back. It can be. So I'm using anthropomorphism kind of methods there to draw animals act like a human there. He's wearing a very huge clown kind of shoes. Maybe, okay, this is the tails of these tigers over there. So this tiger basically juggling. Okay. He has basically those humans kind of hands juggling the flying elephants there, right? So of course, okay, you want to sketch this one there, right? Okay, make sure you have the proper kind of reference. I just sketched the roughly over here. I try to refine based on my, and normally, right, I'm not going to use this kind of method, guys, okay? Rarely, basically, okay, depending on the situations there, right? I want to sketch a little bit kind of details, all right? Or develop more ideas from here. This is what happens. This is what I'm going to do there, okay? If I'm lazy enough to basically to redraw these elements, oh, sorry, there, right? I'm going to copy and put it right here. Okay. So this elephant can be ugly right here, like this one there, right? Kill a little bit there, right? Juggling those elephants there. It's a bit kind of fantasy, surreal kind of things that we try to apply there, okay? This is the bear there, okay? Try to find right photos for the bear there, right? Don't just simply draw that. I can draw them like this one based on the rough sketches because I have that kind of ability to imagine that, right? If you cannot imagine, try to find reference that fits that works. Okay, this is what we call the rough sketches. So thumbnail and rough sketches here. These are going to be the monkey, right? Wearing a pilot basically kind of suit there, right? And flying those toy kind of plane there, right? Okay, on the circus kind of act. All right. So these are going to be the ball. Okay. The ball basically I can actually design instead of normal ball, I can design a globe of map. Okay. So basically he's juggling and on top of those world there, okay, map there, okay. It can be a different kind of storytelling there, right? So this is basically those wires there. Okay, those wires there, right? And then there's the clouds shapes. Okay, there's are going to be those circus kind of buildings there. This is basically my another kind of developments ideas that based on the same sketches there, right? On the same sketches, but I will refine them. This is what we call idea developments there, guys. We don't actually try to find another ideas there, but we can refine them according to what we think it's quite possible for us to work, okay, for our design there, right? Right. You see the difference there. I'm still working out with my ideas there, not just to find something else, try to escape from what we actually supposed to redevelop, right? And drawing, I will add more clouds over here to make it a bit more like a very high kind of what we call that levels of intensity on the whole presentations there, right? And this is what we call the idea developments there, guys. We stick to the plan when we try to refine them more from there. Okay, this is the thing that most people try not to develop there. Okay, they try to escape them because they find quite difficult to work on that. They think too much about the difficulty. They don't want to jump out into more kind of creative solution from there. Okay, this is a part of it, guys. I can start to work from here if I want to, or I can change there. Okay, that's why we have 5 different sketches that works. So this week's you don't have to refine too much. Like if you don't have that kind of abilities that you work like this, you just need to develop a few number kind of ideas and try to develop your sketches according to your plan. There, okay? Whatever that you have in mind, try to redevelop them back. I don't use any reference for the second sketches there, guys. Any kind of reference like this one yet. But I have gathered a lot of information there, right? That based on this kind of information there, I will find more if I want you to help me to visualize more proper kind of understanding. Even though if I want to design basically this plane, I will try to search on the internet there, right? Okay, that's basically one of the most important process for those who cannot imagine really well. Okay, do you have any questions at the moment? How to develop those ideas, guys? Do you have any questions there regarding to our second and the third kind of submission for our final assignments? What are the things that you have in mind right now that you want to ask me? If you say that you have understand like how it works, what are the you have in mind that you want to ask me there? Hmm. Give me some ideas there. What are the techniques or some of the things that you're going to apply? What are the things that you can find quite challenging for you guys to work there? What are the things, guys? Anything there? Any kind of challenging obstacles that you actually have challenged, like you think that okay that you need to improve? Yes, you song you can share your compress there.
Yeah, sir. Can you see my screen?
Okay.
Yeah.
I can see your screen there.
Yeah,
Okay.
like this one can. The mood.
Okay, good there, right? Can you zoom in a little bit there, right?
Zoom in a little bit. This is this one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then you
One.
actually can gather all those elements into one boxes there, right? This is a good example also there, guys, okay? You guys can see from Yuson, okay, how he actually managed to gather all this kind of composition. Can I see the bottom there, okay? The third kind of
Bottom
sketch.
of yeah.
Okay. Where do you get all these informations there, these visual informations there? Can you share
Go
with
to
us?
Pinterest, get the reference. Yeah.
Can I see those reference? Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, this is some of the reference. Okay, good there, right? Okay.
Yeah. This is the
Okay, guys, right. Yeah, I can understand that, right? This is a good example there, guys, okay? Some of the reference samples there, what we
Yeah.
call that combination between the collage, okay? Then before you're going to redraw them back there. Good example there. All right.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So
What
like
is the
this
next
one.
stage there, right?
So do we have to submit our sketch this week?
Yes. You can submit your sketch this week also there, okay? So we don't waste too much time there, okay? By right, I can actually start to do some coloring based on what actually have been produced here. But I don't want to yet, right? Okay,
Coloring on
maybe
the sketch.
on the sketch bit, right? On the composition, some shadings a bit, right? For me, I can actually start to finalize my works that if I want to, but I want to wait for the rest of these three group have developed those ideas there first before I'm going to work on that. Maybe because maybe my next sessions after this, I'm going to start do those coloring there. Okay. So I can actually record the sessions. I will record the session. I'm going to upload. Okay, maybe they're okay, but I haven't start to decide yet. Right. So this is a good example. The guys from Yusong actually have been developed that kind of sketches and ideas there. Okay, based on the element that he actually had been produced. Right. All right. Thank you, there, Yusong.
Yeah.
Do you have anything to share?
Nothing.
Anything else there? No, right? Thank you very
No.
much there.
Yeah.
All right. Rest of you guys.
Sir, can I share my screen?
Can may wait there, right?
I have finished this one, but
Mhm.
for the next four, I will draw my idea.
Okay. This is the first one lah.
Yes.
Welcome. What is it? Welcome to our circus. You try to redesign the typeface at the same time, right? Okay? Or maybe you can use those typeface like reuse those typeface from. You can get those typeface from the phone, there, right?
Yes. I also got download some of the font.
Okay. Some the phone downloader. Okay. Find the typeface called what you call that circus, there, right? If there is have, all right. This one, right? Okay. You guys can use also this one. Okay. Try to work on that. But you can redesign them later on, right? Put some colors there. Okay, guys, this is one of the good kind of example you guys can use that to work on that. This is the one there, guys, huh? From the font. So you guys can use most of those. You download them back there again and use them later on there. But already I have this one already. I will try to what we call it, download them. Let's see. Download this one into my phone there, right? So choose the right kind of fonts also really important there, guys, okay? Before you're going to work on it. This is a common kind of typeface that we have, but we can actually try to download also there, right? I think they have two different kind of what we call that typeface there. This is some of those pictograph elements that which quite very interesting also. you want to use for some of the elements. Okay. But not all of them basically quite very interesting there. So we have to be careful with okay. Carnival there, right? Carnival also quite interesting kind of fonts that we have. Carnival freak show there, right? Okay. All right. Anyone else there want to share screen on your developments? Jianqing, do you have anything there to share with us?
Not yet, sir.
Seems that you actually will have been with us, okay, for quite some time there. No? All right, one other thing that I want to show you guys, okay, today. Okay, right. I will start with we develop a few. Okay, if we develop this kind of type of illustration there, guys, one of the things other than just follow exactly from those reference, you need to design your characters. Okay, you need to design your characters there, okay? Before we go to take a break for a while there, okay? Because I haven't taken a break there, okay? Normally, right, guys, I'm going to design, okay, let's just say this animal, okay, this, what we call that, this tiger there, okay? I will design a few number kind of styles there, right? Okay, let's just say, if I want to start to design those tigers there, I want to design those tigers look a bit more like type of stylization styles there. At the same time, I want to make it a bit more freaky, right, if I can. So what I can do, I want to make the tigers look a bit more like freaky, like a doctor, what we call that Mad Hatter kind of looks there, right? If I can. Okay, so I will sketch my ideas here like this one. Okay, roughly there, right? So the nose are going to be a bit more bigger there, right? And the looks a bit more crazier there. Okay, for example, like this one there, right? Okay, this is a tiger there, right? See, so the tiger look a bit more crazier lah. Right. See, this is maybe my early sketch. Okay. So he's wearing a dress, what we call that, clown's kind of dress over here. More blotted, right? So normally the process of working on design, I will start to sketch those ideas like this one day, guys. See? me share my screen there back again. I don't know what happened just now there, right? Okay, suddenly, right? It's all from those. So when I design these characters there, guys, okay, start to design the tiger characters that base from Mad Hatter there, right? Okay, or an Eat there, right? Okay, kind of horrific kind of characters there. So based on the position, based on the compositions there, I will design the characters like this first, right? Okay, before I'm going to refine them. So if I don't have any ideas, what is this there, right? Okay, I will try to gather more information there first. What I can do from here, I will try to find some reference about the wacky tiger characters there, right? Okay, just to give me more ideas how to design those characters there, right? Okay. I'm not saying that I'm going to copy these drawings, but I want to find, okay, some lunatic characters kind of styles there, okay? But this is only a guideline for me how actually I can design a proper kind of tigers characters, right? This will look more a bit more fierce from those Disney kind of characters there, right? If I can mix around these kind of characters, all right, styles, okay? Because to develop the character design is not quite easy there, guys, okay? If you not actually have a proper kind of way of working. So that's why you have to be a bit kind of what we call that. Do a bit more research there, okay, before you're going to decide there. Not just tracing from other people's characters there, guys. Please don't trace there, right? But I'm going to use this kind of guideline for me to give more understanding on my own design there, right? Okay, for example, if I want to refine based on these characters there, right? What I can do, I had this reference with me, okay? It's right here. So what I can do right from here, I will try to redesign my own way of working there. Right? So from these sketches that I have, okay, reduce the opacity there first. What I'm going to do next, so with this reference that I have right here, I'm going to start to design basically those characters form there, right? See, the characters from the jawline, the nose areas there, okay, those ears there, right? And this is what actually we actually have been trained there before there, okay, to work on that. So the neck itself there, okay, from there. And of course the hairline, okay, the hair kind of structures. What I can do, okay, first of all, this is the basic structure there, right? Can you see the basic structures there? Okay, the basic structures there, right? Okay, this is a rough kind of ideas that I have on the basic structures there. Can you see there, right? This is the eyes. I can draw a bit kind of wacky kind of eyes like this one there, okay? Okay, I want to make these characters become a bit more like a crazy, lunatic kind of what we call that personalities there, okay? So what else that we can actually create from here? Okay, the hairline itself, okay? So design the characters is not that like you're just tracing other people's works there. You have to work through your kind of ideas based on the basic structure that you can actually design, based on the basic form, and to design your own kind of interpretations there. It's very, very critical and crucial there, guys, okay? Whatever that you've been go through there before is only a basics kind of way of working there. This is basically a more professional kind of way of working there. You have to break down the shape itself there first. So what I can do right now, other than creating all these characters there first, okay? Of course, right? I will search more and more, okay? There's a lot of way to design those characters, but those are one of the way that I actually used to study them back. This one is quite interesting also, okay? The reference itself there, okay? To to see those kind of wackiness, craziness, some fierce kind of images of those tigers there. So whatever that I can find quite useful for me to use in the futures there, right? I will actually try to gather them first. Okay. And one of the things that I can use, I'm going to use Liquify in order to manage to develop that kind of what we call that designer. Okay, back again. Okay, from here, I remember about those what we call that character from Alice that just know that, right? Or maybe what we call that Dr. Matt Hatter there, right? Matt Hatter there. Mad Hatters, okay, from Johnny Depp, Alice in Wonderland, okay. All these kind of elements like a circus festival, what we call that, looks there, okay. I can use them, okay, as a part of my inspirations. As a part of my inspirations there, guys. That's why you need to have all this kind of informations there, knowledge there, okay, experience there, okay, from all these kind of movie elements that you guys can see, that you have watched already, use it as a part of your way to break through on your ideas there at the same time. That's it. Okay. Because you need to have that kind of understanding if you want to develop the characters. Okay. From here, maybe it's quite enough basically for me to work there, right? What I can do, like this one, copy and paste right here also that, right, as my reference. Just now I have this kind of photos, quite interesting. Put it right here. Okay. If I want to make it as a part of my reference there later on, all right, what I can do, I can go to Wikify. Okay. I will redesign back again these characters there. For example, okay, I will try to exaggerate a little bit like this. Okay, there. The head becomes smaller, right? Okay, because he cannot think clearly, right? Okay. From here, the nose is bigger there, right? So see, right? Okay, if you want to redesign all this stuff, also you need some experience there, right? So that's why learn from watching how actually I develop them. You guys can improvise later on there. So from here, right, you can actually use these Bluetooth tools, increase the size of those eyes there. Sometimes I can rearrange them back. See, because I will redesign the whole thing there, right? But based on the reference that balance them up back again there. See, right. Because I want to make this guy a little bit more wacky there, right? Okay? As a characters there, okay? Not an animals anymore there, right? As a characters for my illustrations there, right? Okay. Okay. I'm going to use as part of my guideline from here there, right? So what I can do, save the files there first. I'm going to put it over here. This is what I'm saying, okay, because if I actually sketch the whole thing without any reference, you won't be able to see what I saw in my mind already. That's the reason why I show you guys all this kind of way of working there first. I can actually redesign the whole thing without reference there, but I want to show you guys how it works there. Okay, how actually I play with my imaginations at the same times when I develop those kind of ideas over here. So I have the rough sketch from this guy there, okay, but I didn't use this guy totally for my reference there, but I use as a part of my guide that works on that. So what I can do next from this one, okay, the rough sketches that I have, cut and paste, cut and paste, okay, my structures line there, right? So what I can do from here, so I start to design the character, because this is the main character, that is why we have to, because I can do the same thing also with the bear, monkey, and also elephants there, but different kind of way of working. All right, so what I can do from here, okay, of course, okay, the nose of those designer, okay, I can actually redesign the nose. Okay. Okay. And then those, what we call that, those mouth and smiles there. Those fang there, right? See? Okay. Those thumb there, right? Okay. What I can do. There. Those tongue, we have to reimagine a bit there, right? So the next thing is the nose itself. And then those eyes here. The Mad Hatter have those weird kind of eyes there. I'm going to make it the cross eye there, okay? You're going to look into this part there, okay? This one there, right? Define in different directions there. Yeah, see? Now, okay, take a look at those design that has a white kind of strokes over here. So I can actually redesign them, make it into more like clown kind of shapes of colors there, right? So the ears, any ears kind of design, right? Some of those, right? And of course, okay, I draw a skew flows kind of what we call that line over here from the master, because I want to show this crazy kind of wacky kind of what we call that tigers there, right? Huh? As a characters there, right? Then, right now, basically the jawline, okay, I draw the jawline a bit more bigger. Also have those sample or at the beard itself that we can do there. Maybe I will draw basically some saliva from there, right? Right. This is going to be the ears there, right? And the next thing is the hairline, the what we call it, the hair there, right? Okay? And of course the head there, right? The head. So what I have right now, put it over here a bit. It's basically some sort of like the patterns of those tigers later on that we actually can redesign. And then the head itself there, right? And I plan to open up those head later on there, right? So this is basically the structures over there. So the hair are going to be a bit kind of curly kind of hair there, right? See? Yeah. All this reference put on the bottom there, right? So by right, I have that kind of characters of these subject matter there. So designing the characters is very crucial, guys. Okay, you have to focus a bit more further there. Okay, so there. Before you're going to work with your design here. Okay, we're not talking about colorings yet. Okay, we try to plan first our ideas over here. Okay, from here, you have that kind of what we call that ideas of these characters. Now we start to design the body, the postures, and the rest of it. Okay. All right. So this is a part of it, guys. Okay, how actually I developed the ideas there from the basic structures, from the ideas itself, to design the characters there. Okay, we can do more from here if I want to. There, okay, we can do more from here. Okay, but this is something that I have in mind when I want to design the characters from the actual reference and of course the ideas that I have. Okay, based on my kind of planning, on my thumbnail sketches there, guys. Okay, this is how actually it goes there. To develop those characters, it's not that easy. You have to go through with a lot of stage there. But this is one of the stage that I can actually use as a part of your guideline, how actually going to work from there, right? Okay, of course, okay, to design those body is one thing there, right? Okay, if you cannot actually sketch directly from your imaginations, I would say you guys can find some of those reference that can guide you. Okay, anything kind of reference that you can find quite interesting there. Okay, you can mix them up. Okay, from these posters. Okay, for example, over here I have this kind of posters over here there, right, that we can use. Copy them, paste right here first. The head, it doesn't have to be balanced there. Okay, in these compositions that I want to create. Okay, and of course, okay, I can mix it out with another kind of, we call that poster that I have there. Maybe, for example, this one is not quite interesting there, right? I can use there also, right? Okay? Some of those, like holding the balloon there. Okay, holding the balloons is quite interesting there, right? Copy them, paste, and put it right here there, right? Maybe right here there. Okay, mix them up there. Right? But the balloon itself and the hands, cut and paste, I can actually rotate there, right? Make it a bit more better on the presentations. Okay, to make it better on the presentations there. And the one basically that's the right hand basically I can use to juggle them up there, right? I can use also this position if I want to copy them, paste, but I'm going to flip them up there, right? See? But of course the hand kind of positions when they're juggling have to be different speed, but it has to be logic at the same time there, guys. Okay, so I can actually write crop this one, cut, copy, cut, and paste before I'm going to redraw. It has to be logic, right? Okay, for example, like this one there, okay? If I want to combine all these elements all together, for example, sorry, this one there, right? Merge layers, reduce the opacities, right? At the same time, okay, save here my files there first. So I can actually redraw them if I want to there, right? Okay. So I can redraw them. Examples here, okay. This one, right? Tiger kind of paw. And okay, roughly, I can actually design basically this positions over here like this. Okay, refine them back. Okay, the shoes are going to be a bit more bigger there. Okay, remember, right? We supposed to redesign the whole thing here, there, right? So this one. Basically, I can use different kind of poses if I want to there, right? Okay, to work on that. So maybe I'm going to design first the pole like this one there first. Okay. I want to take a look how actually I can recreate those kind of positions that I want there. So I say, okay, the whole things, there has to be, it doesn't have to be confirmed the whole time there, okay? But you can actually redesign them back, okay? Later on there. This is basically my first kind of developments on these characters that first before I'm going to refine them back there, right? So the whole thing has to be doing in a proper process to develop and to analyze them back in the futures that works on it. It doesn't have to be the whole thing has to be confirmed all the time there. That's why when we design those kind of characters, we need to have more time for us to develop that kind of ideas there. You cannot actually spend just a less of time there to work on that. You need to spend more time to create your ideas like this one, right? Okay? For me, right, okay, from these ideas that I have, only one balloon, I can copy to another balloons over here, okay, just to give more excitement on my kind of ideas there, right? I'm going to, this is what we call the idea developments there, guys, okay, one of it there, okay? I can do and more kind of what we call the elements from here if I want to, okay? So this is a part of it, okay, that you guys have to go through with it. If you really want to succeed to develop the proper kind of way of working with it. Other than you can actually use also some reference footage there to compose and redraw and paint back again. But if you really want to redesign the whole things, make it more originality there, okay, that people cannot sue you on your kind of originalities. This is one of the way you guys can redesign those kind of characters there. Okay. So from here, I can see there again. I can actually analyze back again. I can redesign the face of these characters back again, either during the process of sketching or developing, or maybe from the process of creating using those coloring later on. Okay? It's all depends on my kind of way that I saw how effectively I can actually make it those kind of presentation look more appealing there. Okay, it's all up to us basically how to decide properly to work on that. So depending there, guys, okay, it's up to you guys as a part of way to develop your creativities there. Any questions? Any question from here? Inquiries? Now you know basically, okay, to design the characters is not that easy, okay, but you can actually use like what you song actually have been working on, or some of the works that I've done that before. But this is one of the next level that you want to test yourself to develop your way to design those characters, a bit more original, rather than you just gathered some information from other people's kind of photos and you just redraw back again, right? Okay, so you choose basically the way that you're going to present them, right? Okay, that's basically one of the things that I'm trying to find my kind of way right now to develop a more kind of appealing kind of look and feel of this design. And hopefully, they're right. If I don't want to mess around a lot. I will stick with these ideas and start to paint and redraw and redesign them. Okay, simple as that. So it takes time, that guys, to work on that. So try not to decide too early from what you saw on your reference or on your kind of what discovery there, right? Okay, when you discover your kind of way of working, okay, try to explore a bit more further, okay, on your kind of way of working. That's basically I can actually suggest, right? If you decide too early there, okay, for example, oh, I have sketched, right? Okay, fine. It's nothing. What basically you've been discovered, what you basically have learned from there, and did you gain any benefit from those kind of ideas or not? There, right? Those are the things that you have to question yourself there, right? All the times. Okay, when you start to develop your kind of understanding on your own ideas there. Okay, because I find quite interesting on this reference. I try to find my own way to develop the kind of things there. Normally, I'm trying not to what we call that, try to copy exactly there. Okay, I try to improvise and redesign them back according to my kind of way of working. Okay? That's the thing there. Okay? To go to that. If I'm going to start to do basically my own kind of way of presenting those kind of illustrations, it might going to take a bit kind of different kind of way of approaching those kind of demonstrations there. Okay, but the basics fundamental of foundation how to develop beside this were right here. Okay, we're right here, right? So to design a bear characters, for examples, a monkey, it can be used the same methods, or you can actually cut short a little bit if you want to, depending on how actually you're going to go with it. Okay, all right, guys. Do you have any inquiries there from here? Do you have any inquiries or questions, right? How to submit your works for this week? What do you mean? How to submit your sketch for this week? In which folder is it? PowerPoint there. More better PowerPoint there, right? Okay. You put into PDF format as usual, okay? It's more better there, okay? You can see all those kind of ideas from there. Okay, in one page. In one files there, not one page, one files there. Yeah, let me create the folders for you. Assignment 2 and 3. Oh, we have the folders there, right? You can actually submit there right here. Okay. Assignment 2 and 3, we have the folders, okay? Just submit one file's PDF format on PowerPoint there, right? Okay. And you can actually gather all those thumbnail and also your sketches, your thumbnails, and also your research there. Mood board inside this folders there, right? Okay, guys. Even though you guys know how actually it works, I just want to share with you guys here. Okay. This is a two and three there, right? The correction is there, right? Developments. Okay, what I can get from here. Okay, we have this kind of mood board there, right? You can explain a little bit on your ideas at the same time if you want to. Okay, this one cut, put it over here. Then some thumbnails there, right? You can put the names there, thumbnail sketches there, right? You guys know the drill basically there. And sketch it out. Create some of the sketches there, okay? Some of the details there from here. If I have another ideas that I have developed just now, okay, this is idea number 2 there, right? You can actually write, save the files over here. There. Okay, some progressions there, right? Summing to idea development there, right? For digital illustrations. So I'm going to save into PDF format, so for you guys to see there. Okay, this is basically the format that we always use. Okay, to develop basically our to show basically the progressions. Okay, you guys have the drill. Basically, basically how to submit a little bit more proper there. Okay, so what I can make right here. Edit the files. And everyone can create the same, almost the same kind of format there. There. You guys? There. All right. If you can see your kind of efforts there to develop your kind of understanding at the same time that you work with it. And people will see the process of working with your ideas at the same time there, right? Okay. Anything else there? Any questions there? Any inquiries to work with it? You guys understood how to submit there, right? For this week? Say yes, right? Okay. Put Y there, okay? If you actually understood, okay? All of you guys there want to see that, right? On the chat box. All right. Hopefully you guys can work on that, okay? And good luck with your kind of what we call the progressions. Tomorrow I want to see more progression from there. Hopefully our next session you guys can see how actually I'm coloring those kind of design there. Okay. So those are the things that I get for tomorrow's day. Hopefully there. Okay. I try to find also my kind of way to develop a mood on it. Okay. I can actually demonstrate a lot of styles if I want to, okay? But I just want to find some of the mood that to develop a bit more proper kind of way. Hopefully there, guys. Okay, to work with it. Normally I'm going to do those the same kind of assignment with you guys there, right? Okay. Yes. Same thing that I actually have shown you just now there, right? What we call that? Jashin. Okay. For example, there, okay, that to make it more clear there, okay, you just refer to my submissions over here. If I can submit this kind of thing in 2 days, you can do more better than me. Okay? In 2 days there, guys. Right, I can make it in 2 days there, okay? You guys can do more better than me there, okay? You got more than 3-4 days that you work on that. But tomorrow basically just work with those kind of thumbnail if you want to. You can actually gather all information in 1 day basically after this, right? If you want to there, okay? Before you go to start with those books. I think you have everything inside your mind and how it works there, right? If you so actually have been working on with your sketches there, okay, same goes to you guys can work on it. Okay. So thank you guys, okay, for having me today. I have another sessions later on. I have to take a break for a while there, okay? And see you guys basically back again next week. All right. And thank you very much and have a nice day. I'll see you guys later on and good luck and take care of yourself at the same times. And good luck there, right? Bye-bye.
Thank you, sir. Bye.
Welcome there, right?